Everybody, welcome back to the channel. D23 was just this week, and a lot of Star Wars news came out of that. I'm here with our Star Wars crew, joined by Patrick, Neelish, Khalil, and Steven. And let's talk Skeleton Crew, which is basically the Goonies in space. If Goonies was in Star Wars, and we saw a trailer and everything, Jude Law starring in this as well. What do we think of this? Khalil, what are you excited to see Skeleton Crew starting in December?
I mean, I remember telling you a while back that I was actually quite excited for the idea of Goonies in space, more or less. I thought that there was a lot of potential here. I'm not too sure about the trailer. I mean, we saw a lot and then we didn't see very much. I mean, it was nice to see Jude Law at the end. I'm a huge fan of his work, but I don't know. I'm more or less like just on the fence. Like this could be really good or this could be mediocre. But
Okay.
I mean, I'm definitely gonna watch it like the day it comes out. So we'll have to see about it.
Fair. Steven, are you excited for this show?
I am. It depends where it kind of goes for uh, how much the excitement continues, but I think we actually need some lighthearted, maybe more separate from the the Star Wars cinematic universe, like the interconnected nature. I think there's a lot of room to explore just what it's like in the world without these big, massive stakes. Um, and so yeah, I hope it is the Goonies in space where it's fun, like an adventure sort of show. I would be super down for that. If they start to connect it to whatever else is happening at the timeline, I think it's set in the same time as Mandalorian. Then I mean that'll be a little more disappointing. But yeah, going in, I'm hopeful.
Okay. Neilish, where are you at with this? Are you excited to see more of a kid-friendly Star Wars live-action show?
I wouldn't say I'm excited to see a kid-friendly version, just because I think kid-friendly tends to mean a bit condescending toward kids. But I am interested to see, if it's done well, it will be a look at how the Star Wars galaxy looks to kids. And it seems like these are kids who are coming from sort of like the core worlds. So it could be really interesting to see what life is like for them there immediately post Empire.
And yeah, that could be a lot of fun. Patrick, you've been kind of excited for this, I think, for a little bit. What do you think of the trailer, and where are you at heading towards December with it?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm optimistic that it's going to come through the way it was promised, which is basically Goonies in space. You know, the makers were very quick to say, okay, this is going to be like an Amblin Entertainment, straight from the 80s. Goonies is one of my favorite movies. I grew up with that movie. So it's very cool to see in the, in the trailer, you have basically almost like this suburbia, from like E.T. or something like that, Steven Spielberg kind of shot there. And then you have, when they get into the ship or the Jedi temple, they're kind of going down sort of like in the Goonies where you're going down into the basement, and then they have a slide scene, which is very cool, just no water, so you got a lot of this, callbacks to these movies, which makes me kind of smile. But the only thing I'm kind of afraid of is if it gets too caught in the weeds of trying to be Goonies or E.T. and it doesn't take us into Star Wars. I mean, we did see in the trailer some X-Wings, and there's a very possible, at the end of this, episode run of the first season that they might try and tie it into a little bit more into Star Wars. But right now it looks like it's going to be kind of hands off a little bit. It's going to be somewhat familiar to Star Wars, but it's also going to be, a take from, what if we didn't actually live in Star Wars, but we kind of knew about Star Wars. And so that'll be an interesting angle.
What kind of vibe are you looking for, Patrick? As obviously the Goonies angle, and that was the very first thing you think of when you look at this trailer, right? But then, lately in the last 10 years, Stranger Things has also been really popular with, a main cast of young people. So which kind of vibe are you looking for there?
Well, I think it's going to be lighthearted. I think they're going to have elements of darkness. I mean, Goonies, had, the sort of the pirate angle. It also had, these criminals. And so, I think you're going to have that element. And obviously Jude Law's character, I think, is going to be constantly, Is he a Jedi? Is he a Sith? You know, they're going to play with that as well. And I'm sure even in the trailer, you know, just the way he kind of smiled at them, it's like, okay, is this guy a good guy or what? You know, and how did he survive Order 66? Because he'd probably be about that age. So there's going to be a lot of that element. But I'm looking for it to be a little bit more lighthearted. Like Steven said, it'd be nice to have Star Wars light. You know, that's not just tied into this build up to all these characters coming together to defeat Thrawn. It would be nice to have kind of a step back from all the lore, allow, you know, spouses or kids, you know, who aren't into the weeds like we are, to actually enjoy a Star Wars show before they get kind of sucked in.
And allow us to enjoy one without having to do a ton of homework and whatnot.
But I like the lore. So.
It feels like there's a lot of homework with both Marvel and Star Wars. And so it would be nice to have some that don't require it in both properties. And so I'm hoping that this is that.
And that's, Steven, that's one of the reasons I enjoyed Deadpool and Wolverine like so much, is because it didn't really require much of that. You know, like if you knew some stuff from the old
you get more enjoyment though.
Marvel.
You see the more you know.
I mean,
you know,
if you knew like the old X-Men stuff, then yeah, you were going to enjoy it more, but you could go in having not seen anything and be just fine. Cleo, how about you? Where are you at with what kind of vibe are you looking for?
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the same boat. With this, it's almost like you're put in the place of the children. You know, you want to see the galaxy, like see what more there is to offer. So it feels very much, you know, friendly to those that, you know, are as invested in Star Wars. And so I honestly see this, like, even if it's not like the best show, I feel like it would probably end up, you know, still being enjoyable.
Yeah, Niels, what are you looking for from it?
I'm hoping to actually see it. The trailer, and maybe this wasn't your guys' experience, but I thought the trailer was shot really dark in the sense of I literally struggled to see things in it, which seems like if it's going to be an adventure show, that's not a great way to go. So I am hoping that if they're going to go for a lighthearted tone, they do it, first of all, in a way that's not like oriented to kids in the sense of treating kids like they can't handle complex ideas, and also that they really go all the way with it. And they don't try to use techniques that like Mandalorian and Andor have established when it comes to cinematography and soundtrack design. They instead use something maybe more akin to like Rebels.
Sure. Did you watch it on a large screen or like a personal device?
Personal device.
Okay. That might have been because I didn't have the same experience, but I was watching it on a larger screen too, so that may have played into it. So yeah, and I think like the fun thing with this, as far as like the kid angle goes, is like the kids are the point of view characters in this story, right? They're not just like there. They are your point of view characters, so we're going to kind of be on this journey with them as all this happens. So yeah, it seems pretty exciting. So out of 10, give me your hype level for Skeleton Crew as we head into the fall. Steven, go first.
I'm gonna say I'm at about a 5 about a 5. It's nice to have something to like watch. Though December is like a very busy period, so the more that's packed in. I forget when Agatha comes out.
That's soon. It's like
okay.
really soon,
I didn't remember if it was closer to December or not. So if it's pretty by itself, then I'm more hyped. If there's a lot more TV out then on top of like the holiday window, hype dies a little bit. But I will watch the show obviously. But yeah, 5 right now, I would say.
Okay. Patrick, how about you?
I'd say about 7.5. I mean, I am hyped to see it. I definitely will see it. I don't think I was quite as hyped as with Ahsoka or with Acolyte. Those two, I really, for other reasons, I was very excited about those two. But right now, if they can just nail the sort of vibe and the theming, then I'll be happy. Because right now I'm not coming in with any sort of expectations larger than just having fun, which is part of the reason why this I think will be a bigger hit with me than Ahsoka and the Acolyte, because I came in expecting something and was not quite delivered. Here, I'm not really pulling that expectation. I'm just very excited to kind of have a fun adventure. So as long as I can nail that, it'll be good.
Awesome. Neilish, how about you?
I'm gonna say 5. Star Wars adventures aren't typically what I enjoy. I'm much more interested in like the world building of a show like Andor.
Mhm.
But like I said, for however much time we get to spend seeing what life is like for children immediately after the Empire in a core world, that could be really interesting. And Jude Law is a good actor, so it'll be interesting to see
Yeah.
him sort of part of this group of kids and how they all learn about him and interact with him.
Awesome. And Khalil.
Yeah, I'm with Patrick. It's about a 6 or a 7. I don't feel like I have so many expectations with this, as long as it's, fun, adventurous, and maybe even a little bit of a feel-good story, because I feel like something like this has the potential to, kind of reach the heart. So we'll see how it is. But for the most part, like I said, I'm definitely going to watch it like the moment it'll hit streaming. So I have
Yes.
no expectations, just looking for a good time.
Yeah, I'm at about a 7.5 too. I think we can use a good, like, fun adventure that isn't ultra serious or trying to be, because sometimes that falls a little bit short. Patrick, I think you hit it right on the head. Like, I think the expectations for some people going into some of the other shows were higher for furthering stories and doing different things, and I think that had a negative effect on how they were received at times. So this one, I hope, like, we're able to just go and looking for a fun time, and hopefully that can deliver that. And so, yeah, I'm a little bit excited for this. I was pretty happily surprised by how much I enjoyed the trailer, even though it was only like a minute and a half, but excited to see more from it. And we'll have more as more comes out about Skeleton Crew as we head through the fall. And let us know in comments what you think, if you're looking forward to it, and if you're willing to get behind this type of show in Disney Star Wars. So thanks for joining us, everybody, and have a great day.